Let's go. All right, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me once again on the Michael Mars Show. Today is Monday, June 1st, 2020. This is Season 2, Episode 18. Yeah, it's quite unbelievable that we're already in June. I mean, summer's flying by. Hopefully it slows down a little bit for us. But nevertheless, I'm here with surfing legend, one of my great friends of many years. We went to St. Teresa together way back in the day, went to Stonebridge together, graduated together, class of 2018. Now he goes to Virginia Tech, I go to Radford. Short ride right next to each other. We got to say to everyone, big Sam.
You know, thanks for having me out. I appreciate it. And let's get this show started.
Yes, sir. New beginnings for my man Sam, too. Stay tuned. He's got a podcast coming on the way. But
Sure.
Check out his blog, too. It'll be in the description. But we'll get into that later on in the episode. But without further ado, let's jump right into the first topic, which is a nice little UFC update. This past Saturday on ESPN, Gilbert Burns, the number 6 ranked welterweight in the world, absolutely smashed Tyron Woodley. You watched the fight, correct? What do you got? What'd you think about it, man?
Dude, I mean, we were texting about the fight, and I was like, Burns is gonna win. This is Tyron Woodley. You know, what is he? He's 38 now.
Yeah, Woodley's 38.
He's washed up. You know, I think he's had his days. He had his moments, but he just backs up against the cage and he throws that right hand. You know. It's just...
Yeah, dude. So we hung out together on Friday at Jack Costco's house, and when Sam came over, we immediately started chalking it up about the fights. And he had Burns, and I was like, nah, man. I was like, Woodley's going to win. I was like, you got to take Woodley. Anyway, long story short, I swayed his mind, and then we were texting during the fights, and he was like, man, I knew I shouldn't have listened to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to putting your money on somebody or just guessing, just go with your gut, because I just felt I had something in my head. I was like, I think it's Burns' night, Burns?
Yeah, Gilbert Burns.
It's Gilbert Burns' night, and he dominated all 5 rounds. It was just disgusting. You know, the first minute he dropped Tyron Woodley with a bunch of uppercuts, and it was just disgusting. Dude. He was bleeding in the first 2 minutes on the ground, and Gilbert Burns, he's black belt.
Yeah, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Unreal, dude. His hips were on top of Woodley the whole time.
Woodley couldn't do anything.
He was so tight. He was suffocating him. It was insane.
Now I just thought Gilbert may be a little bit ahead of himself because he was in his previous fight against Damian Maia when he knocked him out. He was the 13th ranked.
Disgusting.
That was disgusting. But he was the 13th ranked fighter, and then he moved up to 6th. Big jump. Woodley stayed number 1. He hadn't fought since he lost the belt in March 2019. So I was like, you know what? I think he's on a little revenge tour. This is going to be the start of his revenge tour. Absolutely not the case. Unanimous decision. I think it was 50-45. I don't think
100%,
Yeah,
100%.
Dude, Woodley. That means Woodley has not won a round in his last 2 fights. That's 10 rounds, not a single round.
I mean, let's give it to him. The dude does have a chin. He definitely has a chin. I'll give it to him. But he's not mixing it up. It doesn't look like he's actually sending the shots he wants. I will say I'm a little bit mad at Michael because I was watching the walkout and I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go with Woodley now because he looks cold. You know,
he looked real.
He looked focused, but it's just something in his head that he has a mental block. I mean, the athleticism's there, the chin is there. That right hand
with his
is
mom is there.
Yeah, for sure.
A great sport from
his
mom.
coach. Who's he fight under?
Not Duke, Rufus.
Yeah, Rufus.
Oh, it is Duke Rufus.
Rufus. Yeah, so I mean, he has a good staff. I mean, I
just
don't think he's gonna make it there, man. He did choke out Tildo.
Yeah. I mean, that was Till's first loss, too. But, I mean, everyone's got their run, and every run has to come to an end, son. I mean, like you said, he's 38. I mean, Gilbert's fresh meat, 31. But, dude, that division is stacked. Real stacked. What do you think about the potential matchup between Usman and Masvidal that we might get this summer? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I saw some reports for McGregor versus Usman. And I sent that to you, and then I realized, it was just hearsay. But then I got more into it, and I found out that, it's probably going to be, it's definitely Usman and Masvidal, but, who knows? They can match that up with Burns, and that'd be a phenomenal fight because of the ground. It's going to be a challenge for Usman.
Especially if no one signs up to fight Usman because, like I said, they wanted to make that fight, but I don't know. Apparently, they're having a hard time getting them to sign the contract. And Gilbert Burns said in the post-fight interview the other day, he was like, hey, man, I'm ready to go whenever. He was like, I'm basically fully healthy. I'm ready to go end of June, early July. And that's when Usman said he wants to fight. He said either June or July. But, I don't know, man. Hopefully they can get it done. Hopefully they can. Guys want to see fights, dude. We were 3 months without fights or 2 months without fights. Just throw them to me, dude. I don't care who fights who, to be honest.
Yeah, so I would like to see McGregor Usman. I think that would shape up pretty interestingly. But if you put McGregor against Masvidal, that's a different story. I think I think McGregor gets dominated in that. I mean, you see what he did to Diaz. That was
Dude,
disgusting. It was domination. I mean, you don't see that happen to Diaz, brother, at all. Like,
dude. So you might look at Masvidal's record because Usman brings it up all the time, and he's like, yeah, dude, like he's lost X amount of fights, like 9 fights, 10 fights. I went back and looked the other day for like the first time. Dude, he's like 6 split decision losses.
He's a journeyman fighter too. I mean, like,
yeah,
but like he's not going for the wins. He's more just going for. I mean, obviously now he's like in the point of his career where he wants to win the fights, but I feel like in the past, he was just more of like, let's go for experience. Like, I just love to fight. I love to scrap. I mean, like, you saw him. He's in the backyard fights.
I know, dude, with the Kid Most Slice days.
He just likes to scrap. I mean, like, yeah, power to him. I mean, but I think he's just...
That's my
He's that dude. He's that
305.
Dude. He's that dude. Like, he's going to be champ. I think he's going to be champ. Like, he has the ground game, too. Like, you guys would be surprised. His wrestling's on point now. And,
yeah, he does have good wrestling. I mean, he showed that in the Diaz fight in the clinch. Like, he just looks like, or felt like physically. I mean, I can't say what he felt like, but like it appeared like he was physically strong as hell.
Yeah, he said he's got a new diet he's been on and cleaning up his diet because he used to eat like McDonald's before fights. I don't know if you've seen his vlogs.
I have seen him where he goes through the drive-through a couple times.
Yeah, I've seen that. Dude is I mean, he wants it, and I think he's gonna be champ. I don't think he cares if he's champ, to be honest. But
yeah, what about Ben Askren? So that knee to the dome piece. Hate to see it.
Jeez.
Hate to see it, but I honestly love to see it because I had Masvidal that night. I had money on Masvidal.
So I thought Ben Askren coming from a different organization, I was like, he might have some problems, but he won the Cerrone fight. I think Cerrone tapped out. Like
you talking about Robbie Lawler?
Oh yeah, sorry, Lawler. My bad. Yeah, Lawler. He tapped out. I think he tapped out. He won't say it, but like he was out. His arm went limp. Like, nobody does that.
Yeah, like did you see Herb Dean's explanation on the Joe Rogan podcast? He was like, as a referee, like I'm supposed to protect him, and like I literally saw his arm just go like limp.
Yeah, he's saying, oh, I'm trying to limp out. I'm like, no, you're not limping out of that.
Yeah, like it was like, I mean, I had no problem with the stoppage, even though like Askren kind of was getting pieced up for a little bit, but like,
yeah. So
man,
my prediction: Masvidal champion 2021. At least by 2021, I think he's gonna get that belt for sure. I mean, the shots he was throwing on Diaz was just disgusting. Like every shot was full powered. Like his Muay Thai looked disgusting. Like the kicks he was throwing.
But Usman's no walk in the park. That's gonna be a war.
There's no walk in the park.
And it's gonna be the build up.
I just think he's fundamental. Like, but him and Covington, that was a sloppy fight. It was a scrap, but it was a scrap. It was a scrap, but I don't think they match up.
Yeah. So now this Saturday, 5 days from now, we got UFC 250, Saturday, June 6th, only on pay-per-view. Starts at 10 p.m. Prelims start at 8 p.m. You want to dive into the fight card? He's got it in front of him. I've got it in front of me. Blow it up real quick.
Woo, my boy is on here. Cody Garbrandt. That's probably my favorite fighter.
All right, let's start at, you want to start at Chase Hooper?
Yeah.
All right, so Chase Hooper, who is, I want to say, 20 years old, 21. He was on the Dana White Contender Series at like age 18, and now he's had like 2 or 3 UFC fights. But yeah, he's 9-0 going against Alex Kakaris. I'm not really sure who that is. I think it's an easy win for the young boy Chase Hooper. Who you taking in that?
Yeah, I can't speak on behalf of that. I mean, I know Chase Hooper's ground game is really good. His jiu-jitsu is solid. So I'll take Chase Hooper. He's young. He's been on a streak.
Yeah. You gotta fear him, man. That number 81 ranked featherweight in the world. You gotta fear that number 81, son.
What is it? Who's ranking that?
I got this on a website. I mean, I think the rankings got to be decent because these are the correct ones. Like everything else is correct. But so
is it throughout organizations? Yeah.
I think it was MMAJunkie.com where I got this.
Yeah. But is it like throughout organizations? Or
This is like all organizations.
Yeah, I guess UFC obviously doesn't have 80 featherweights.
Yeah. Dana White said he had something like 600 fighters under contract. I think there's like 12 divisions.
Yeah, do the math.
So like, I ain't doing the math. Someone do the math and count what that is.
Someone do the math.
All right. So then to kick off the main card, that Chase Hooper fight is the final prelim, the headline prelim of the night. But now to kick off the main card, Sugar Sean O'Malley going against UFC veteran Eddie Wineland. What do you guys say about Sugar Sean O'Malley? Pretty young buck himself. Yeah,
so I think I've heard of Eddie Wineland. I don't know if I've seen him fight recently. I mean, he's got a killer mustache though.
I got killed.
Sean O'Malley. Let's take Sean O'Malley. I mean, the dude looked phenomenal in his last fight. He came off that injury just looking. He looked bigger. I know he was on a vegan diet, but he said he got off that, and he said he's been feeling a little. He's putting on a little more muscle. So I do like him in that bantamweight division. I think we'll continually see him to rise.
Yeah, he looked real balanced in his last fight. Like there was no rush. Like even when he had the guy rocked,
Dude's
he didn't
a killer,
look.
Dude.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was like over, like trying to get the finish or anything. Like he stayed the course. Whenever he was going to end it, he ended it. And that head kick, because I went back and watched that fight last night. That head kick kind of just like wrapped up.
There's that style of fighter, man. It's just like really calm, calculated, like very well all around. It reminds me of kind of Israel Adesanya style. And then kind of Conor McGregor with that like those calculated shots, those precise shots, and I think that's really, we saw that with Justin Gaethje in his last fight. I mean, like he obviously his cardio is great, and like you have to line up with Tony Ferguson's cardio, but I mean he's just putting it on him, like he's precise shots. I think that's the way to go, unless you're in the heavyweight division, I guess.
Yeah, then you
just kind of swing for the fence.
Yeah, you hit him with that Francis Ngannou, you just get after it. But should we jump into the Aljo fight now? My neighbors are walking over here. What's up with the neighbors? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Hope the day's going well. It's only 11:45 here in Ashburn, Virginia.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe. Let's jump into that Aljamain Sterling fight. That is right before the co-main event. The number 2 bantamweight in the world, Aljamain Sterling, is fighting the number 4 ranked bantamweight Corey Sandhagen. That's going to be a scrap, and that is going to be a huge title eliminator for the bantamweight division because Cejudo just relinquished the belt. UFC said Peter Yan is going to be for sure one of the guys fighting for it, and I think it's going to be the winner of Aljo and Corey Sandhagen are going to meet Yan.
I'm going to take Aljo in this one.
Yes, sir.
He's nasty on the ground. I've seen some of his subs, and they're just disgusting. And he's also good on the feet, and the dude's huge for bantamweight. I mean, have you seen him? The dude cuts a lot of weight. And hopefully that doesn't hinder his performance. But he's on a roll. He took down somebody at catchweight that I was watching. Who's that against? He used to be the bantamweight champ, and then T.J. Dillashaw knocked him out.
Hennon Brown?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know, but he won that fight, very convincingly. I don't know Aljamain's last fight. I don't think I saw that. I mean, he's definitely.
Sandhagen's last fight was the one that I went to in Anaheim.
Oh, for real?
He actually fought a Sun Cao.
He fought a Sun Cao?
Yeah, Sun Cao, who's actually fighting the co-main event. So we're both going with Aljo.
Yeah, so how was that fight, by the way? I didn't see it.
Sandhagen ended up winning, which now I'm kind of confused looking at it while Sandhagen is not.
I mean, dude,
like in the co-main.
Cody.
Yeah, everyone does want to see Cody
dude.
Yeah,
I feel bad for the guy. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, but I have to say, Cody Garbrandt is still like one of my favorite fighters. The dude just bangs. I mean, he brings the energy.
He's
for
still
sure.
young
He's
too.
Just huge. He could be a. He could be a 125 pounder. What is it?
Flyweight.
Flyweight. Sorry. Yeah, he could be a flyweight. I mean, dude's small, but he throws bangers, and he has a really good. He has a wrestling background. He's an Ohio State champ, I think, which is like super hard to do.
They got good wrestling in Ohio.
Oh, dude, Ohio's top 3 wrestling state next to Pennsylvania and New Jersey probably. But dude's a killer, and he won he's been boxing since he was a kid. So I mean, he's just like all around a killer. I think he just had problems with his his mentality over the past couple of fights, and I think he got like a sports psychologist, you saying? And
he took a good amount of time off, but I think one of his main problems was like he would just put himself in the fire.
Oh yeah,
like he would just start swinging rock'em sock'em robots.
I think he had some he said when that would happen, he'd just go red and like he'd just black out
and just start swinging.
Yeah, and he knocked down Cody Garbrandt in the first fight. I don't really remember the second fight, but I know in the first fight he dropped TJ. Yeah.
And then, so if you guys don't know, the co-main event of Saturday's card is the number 7 ranked bantamweight Cody Garbrandt making his long-awaited return against the number 6 bantamweight Rafael Assunção. Sorry, the little bug flying around my face. Assunção, my bad. I'm real bad with the pronunciations. But yeah, Garbrandt was 11-0, and he beat Dominic Cruz at UFC 207, I believe. And then went on a 3-fight losing streak, lost to TJ again, and then lost to Munoz, I believe. And that was like over a year ago. This is his return. I'm expecting big things from him, dude. I'm expecting a big comeback revenge tour from him, especially if he can get past Rafael on Saturday. Who would you like to see him go against if he wins? Would you like to see him go against maybe Aljo if Aljo won? And you put Peter Yan against like Aldo or someone in the meantime for that title?
Sheesh. I would like to see I'd like to see Garbrandt win. Put him right back in title contention.
Yeah.
Let's throw him in with Aldo. I don't know, man. That's a banger. I mean,
that is.
And I think And I think he's a much cleaner striker than Aldo. Aldo's like kind of like
real
tight,
stiff.
Real
McGregor
stiff.
exposed him, son.
He's stiff. I mean, the dude. I don't know how he made bantamweight. Like, let's talk about that. Like that weight cut just looks terrible. And like as someone who has cut weight, like I wouldn't even say I cut that much weight, but you see me in school, like if it was match day, like I would be sucked out. Like I'd only be cutting like 6-7 pounds of water weight at most.
You just be drained.
Yeah, it's just like 6 or 7 pounds of water weight's no joke. Like if you wake up in the morning thirsty, like imagine you wake up in the morning thirsty and you can't have water for another day, and you have to sweat that out during practice. Like you can only have little sips. So that weight cut is not easy, and you feel it. I mean, I kind of regret cutting some weight in high school just because you feel diminished when you get to the mat, and half the battle is that weight cut. So
yeah, I just have to fight right there. You actually like got me hip to Pedialyte back in the day.
Yeah,
I remember Sam would show up to like PE or study hall, whichever classes we had together, and he would just be down in some great Pedialyte. I'm like, what we got over there, son? He was like, man, this is what I need to replenish, and I'm like, dude, what is that? And then
so I don't know why. Maybe I'd be doing that. I don't remember why I'd be doing that, but usually I'd pack a cooler. Like I'd step on the scale, they take my weight, and then after everybody like grabs their food. But like I would go right for the like if you see UFC fighters, like they go right for the liquid. So like I like Pedialyte, but then I stopped drinking Pedialyte because it has like some artificial stuff in it. Now I like Liquid IV. I don't know if you're hip to that. No, you should check out Liquid IV. That stuff's A1.
It's a drink?
Yeah, it's great for hangovers. Yeah, it's killer, and it tastes kind of like Pedialyte, but it has like a lot of sodium, all the vitamins, but it's killer.
But nutrients to recover, eh?
Oh yeah, but I switched kind of over to coconut water. Coconut water is gas.
I'm a big coconut water guy, eh?
Yeah, so
that's beach vibes.
Yeah. I mean, I've never like drank out of like a real coconut. I want to do that one day.
Want to hear a story real quick?
Huh?
You want to hear a story?
Yeah.
So I was vacationing in Miami probably like 3 years ago, and we stayed at a hotel, and there was a parking garage on the side of it. And I went up to like the top floor of the parking garage, and there was this big ass coconut tree that was like right next. This is in Florida.
Florida.
I was in Miami. And anyway, there's this big ass tree, and like where all the coconuts are is like perfectly level with the fourth floor. So I go down to the basement. This is at like 10 o'clock at night. I go down to the pool deck. I grab that like pool cleaner. I run up to the fourth floor of the garage, and I just start stabbing at the coconut tree. One coconut falls. I run back down, grab it, put the pool thing in the pool deck, go in my apartment, chopped it up. I had that coconut water. Honestly, it was alright, man. It was not worth all the.
Yeah, well, who knows if that coconut is ready to be tapped into?
Yeah.
You think?
It probably wasn't based on how it tasted. It probably wasn't.
Sometimes I'm like, yo, like I just need a machete. Like it just looks so cool. Like someone you see someone like crack open a coconut. They just use a machete.
Hey, you see that on like Survivor back in the day?
Yeah, dude.
Or like Dual Survivor. You remember that show?
No, I'm not like a Survivor guy anymore. My parents love Survivor. I think it's more of a social. Like Survivor is more of like a social experiment. But if you do Naked and Afraid, or I know there's one show called Alone.
I've heard
that's
of that.
Like some gnarly. That's like some gnarly shit. Like that's no joke. Like, but Survivor, like, I mean, yeah, they all lose like 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Like they all look like they get skinny, but
yeah.
I mean, it's a game, and they're just socializing. Like even the competitions, like it's not that.
It doesn't seem that.
It's not that deep.
I'm about to say it's really not that challenging. I mean, not easy though. But let's try to get back on track for the UFC. We're talking about coconut water. Let's try to get back on track to the last fight, the main event on Saturday is Amanda Nunes defending her 145-pound title against Felicia Spencer, who is Canadian, if anyone was wondering. Yeah, I don't know. I think Amanda Nunes is gonna run through her, dude. I mean, like,
I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know who Felicia
Spencer just got smashed by Cyborg.
So why is she fighting? Why
because I think Dana just wants to
Cyborg. Is she
feed her to Nunes. Yeah, she left the UFC because
dude, I'd like to see that rematch though. I mean, I've never seen women. No disrespect to women. Like I don't mean to be sexist at all. Before I say this statement, but I've never seen women throw hammers like that. Like that was some scary shit. Like the way they were throwing, like
she throws
reckless abandonment, dude. Like her and Cyborg were just throwing at it. I mean, I don't know who Felicia Spencer is, but let's say this is a quick night, first round. Put your money on that.
She's a big favorite. I mean, yes. Nunes is like a huge.
I don't even know if you'd make that much money if you bet.
I mean, you could if you put down a lot, but you'd have to bet like $500 to really make something reasonable.
Yeah.
Like $500 bet would probably win you like $90. I think.
I need to like. I've never gambled in my life, so I need to. I mean, I know like what the odds are, but I don't know the math behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to like kind of get into that, but
we gotta get you a bookie. I just can't wait till I turn 21, so I can make a FanDuel account. Because then that's where the
what was
real
it?
madness
UFC
starts.
249.
What was?
The last card where I picked.
Yeah.
All right, listen to this,
dude.
Listen. So I sent Mike. I sent Mike all of the fights I picked. I was like,
before the card started.
Yeah, here we go. I set all the fighters who I said was gonna win, and like, it wasn't an easy card to predict by any means. And I sent it to him. I was like, all right, like, do you have your bookie ready? Like, I want to bet on this. He's like, and I sent him. No, that was the card before, but I was like, all right, do you have your bookie ready this time? And he's like, nah, like still in the red. I was like, shit,
dude.
Sorry to expose you.
No, you're good, dude.
But yeah, so the fights are over. The fights are
awful,
over. I think I fell asleep like during the Gaethje fight because it's just so late. Yeah, well, I mean, I saw the first 3 rounds. He's just getting domed, like, and I fell asleep. My brother wakes me up. My brother wakes me up, and he's like, yeah, Gaethje won. And I see like Tony all blood. I see the hand get raised. And then I look back and I see all the picks, and then I look back on what I sent Mike, and it's just like 100%. And I'm like, yeah. Like I want to get into gambling, but it's just like,
dude, if you had parlayed all the picks that you sent me, and you put like 25 on that parlay, you probably could have made close to like $1,200.
Yeah, I mean,
but I mean, dude,
I'm not hyping myself up. I'm just
know.
saying, like, it was fun. It was a funny moment because I looked back at it and I was like, wow, like it was just funny.
No. I mean, like I said, I definitely would have gotten you, but like I was just so in the red that like I would have had to hit a bunch, like probably 3 other bets just for you to get paid out. And like I didn't want to like I basically would have been your bookie if you had made that bet then,
right?
Because I would have paid you from my bank account and then still been in the red from this guy. Yeah. So once I get in the green, if you still don't have a bookie by then, we can start making bets and stuff.
Right.
But God knows when I'll be in the green, son.
Yeah,
literally.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. All right, now let's jump into topic number 2, surfing questions. If you guys didn't know, Sam is quite the surfer. Shout out Ship Bottom, New Jersey. That's where he does most of his damage. My first question is actually a Reddit question a question from a guy on my Reddit from my discussion post that I said on or that I posted. Long story short, @SupDude chillin' sup. Let me say it one more time. @SupDude chillin' sup on Reddit. Shout out you for the first question, which is, what is your favorite meal to eat after a long day of surfing?
All right, I know this sounds cliche, but I'm gonna have to say acai bowl. Acai bowl hits different. Hits different after a day in the sun.
A day in the sun?
Yeah.
What do you get on the acai bowl?
It's like so crazy. You don't even remember sometimes. Like,
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. What is an acai bowl?
All right, so basically acai bowl or a smoothie bowl comes from the so the name comes from acai, which is like a tropical fruit known for like its antioxidants. But yeah, like sometimes the base isn't even acai, so you get a smoothie bowl. You get like a smoothie base, and then you can throw some granola on it, some honey, like hemp seeds, chia seeds, like whatever you want.
Hemp seeds, man. That sounds nice.
It's good stuff.
Good for the body.
Yeah, good for the body. Get omegas. And then I usually top it off with, I don't like bananas on top. It's just the consistency. So I top it off with some berries, like blueberries or strawberries. Those hit for sure.
Yeah, I could totally see how that like just replenishes your energy for a night of partying, perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
You know what I mean? Like long days. I mean, like personally, I would probably go with
before partying, like you can't have a smoothie bowl.
No,
then you're just gonna be like 3 drinks in, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, like, let's say like a big like protein packed meal. What are you going to? So we'll say the acai bowl is your favorite tasting. What is your like? You're about to go have like an adventurous night, and you haven't eaten all day, but you surfed all day. What are you eating to fill your stomach up for success?
I'm gonna go with a salad bowl, like a base, like with quinoa.
Guy loves bowls.
Yeah, I love bowls. Dude, you can do anything with bowls. Like, just think about the diversity. Like, you have a plate, like, you put it in a bowl, though, like, you can mix all types.
All right, another question. Fork or spoon? If you could only use one for the rest of your life. Fork? I'm more of a spoon guy over here, so I love me a spoon. I love me a spoon.
Yo, you think about it, you have, like, you have like your chicken on your plate, like you're just picking up with a spoon. Like, does that not feel wrong? Does that not feel wrong? Like,
no, I mean it does, but like I enjoy soup, so like I couldn't eat soup with a fork.
You're a soup guy, huh?
I mean, like not the biggest.
What about
but
tomato
like,
soup?
No,
Tomato soup?
No. So I ain't get skunk.
Cold take.
Cold take. So I ain't get attacked by a skunk. So I don't even know tomato soup in my life. He actually just said I don't want to spit out water before. He said don't. Before we started, he was like, "Don't make me laugh when I'm drinking water."
This dude Mar used to make me crack up in
intro
to business, dude.
Dude, we had a couple classes
Intro
together.
to business, we just like be spitballing in the back.
No, bro.
With Miss G.
Dude, remember the game that we used to play on the computer with like Luke, you, myself, and Kyle, or Kyle and myself would be proper grammar. Dude, it was like that. Like we would just go to Intro to Business in Miss Guerrero's class and like literally not do anything in the class, but we would always.
Game?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I just remember it was a computer game that you got us hip to that I was like obsessed with. I'm pretty sure it was like a race game.
Oh, dude, I remember it.
It was like racing cars. Dude, I don't remember what it was called, but I remember like, dude, I contemplated just dropping out and becoming a full-time.
I remember that,
player.
and it wasn't even like. It looked like you're like the pixels, like
no, it wasn't a good game. I mean, like it might as well have been like if you gave that to a kid in high school now and said play this, he'd be like, bro, like what was it, like 2004? But like back in the day in high school, like we ate that shit up, dude.
Yeah,
like,
so
that game was fuego.
I basically, if you don't know, I basically lived at Luke's house like just during the week or like on the weekends.
Shout out Luke, man.
Yeah, because him and
shout out Luke Page.
Him and X are stepbrothers, so I would always just go over to their house and like just chill after school. And we played Rocket League. You came over for some UFC fights too.
Yeah, dude, those UFC games were so much fun.
Yeah, so it's a spot, and we used to play Rocket League like all the time, like just talking about car games. And so we played Rocket League like probably like a week ago. And we're like, oh, dude, we haven't played in a while. So we put it up to expert, like, right off the bat.
Nope.
And Luke's like, dude, I don't know about this. Like, we haven't played in that. I was like, it's like riding a bike. And, like, dude, like, I start, like, using the Xbox controller. And what do you know? Like, I just know what to do. Like, I don't know, like, what the controls do. But, like, you just know what to do.
You end up winning the game?
Yeah, we won. We won in OT.
I think
it was like, we won in OT. It was crazy. Dude, we were all hyped.
Yeah, I'm more of a maybe put it on like the second easiest setting, build my morale up, and then get into the other. Because I mean, dude, if I play that first game on expert and I go down 8-0, I mean, there's a good chance the Xbox is getting turned off. There's a high chance of that happening.
Yeah.
All right, surfing question number 2. Now we're just into my questions. Do you remember your first wave that you rode?
Yeah, so I think I was maybe 6 or 7, and I've pretty much grown up in Long Beach Island in the summer, so like as a kid, my mom would take us there for about like a month or 2 months out of the summer, and until I was like 12 or 13, no, probably like 10 or 12, somewhere around there. She like went full time with her physical therapy business, so we stopped going there in the summer, like kind of full time. And then when I got to high school, I was like, no disrespect to Nova, I was just like, I want to be like.
You want to be here full time?
Yeah, I want to be here full time. Like, I got a good job. Like, I gave surf lessons, which is like an awesome job. But
and it's exactly what you wanted to do at the time.
Yeah. So when I was 6 or 7, my uncle threw me on a board. He took me out, and I remember him like pushing me into like a perfect little like 1 or 2 foot wave, and I was just like gliding on this like glass board, and I remember just like, this is like the craziest feeling. Like, I didn't know what was gonna happen next, and I don't know. It's cool.
That's cool. You like distinctly remember, like,
dude. Yeah,
you know what I mean,
just
like,
remember the feel. Like, I remember like the water under my feet, like the board under my feet, and it's just like the dreamiest feeling. I know that sounds like so cliche, but like it just like was the dreamiest feeling, and I was like, whoa, like this is something different.
Wait, my bad. I missed. What age did you say you were?
That was like 6 or 7, probably.
Oh, so he was a young buck right there.
Yeah, but like I didn't get into it until I had a lot of like. So I went from like lacrosse. And then I didn't really like lacrosse when I got to high school just because I got burnt out. And then...
You played lacrosse growing up, right? Like, all your life?
Yeah. And then, like, I played JV for Stonebridge as an 8th grader. Like, I did good. Yeah. Like,
I'm just messing with you.
And then, so, I was, like, not really... I kind of got burnt out for some reason. I was, like, putting too much pressure on myself. I was like, this isn't even fun. And then I got back into wrestling. And then I took on... I was like, I really want to just wrestle and surf, like, wrestle in winter, surf in the summer.
Yeah.
And so
that's what you decided to do.
That's what I did, and I just quit lacrosse, and then I played my junior year, which was fun. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have quit, but you know. Yeah. I mean, you did the same thing kind of with football, right?
Yeah, I did the same thing with football.
Yeah.
Took a year off, or 2 years off. Another question that I had is, I didn't have it in our outline, but how many? No, this is surfing related. How many kids, when you were teaching surfing lessons or giving surfing lessons, how many different kids a week would you teach?
Yeah, so typically like the high season for surf lessons is like late August. So I don't teach all kids. I do like camps for kids, but I don't teach all kids for the company I worked. So the high season was August because kids would be finished like whatever summer sports they'd be doing. Mm-hmm. So August you'd just be pumping out lessons. What was the question again?
I said how many kids a week? It was a pretty dry question.
Yeah. Oh, so I don't know, honestly. Like sometimes I'd have like 6 lessons. So each lesson is usually an hour. So
it's all one-on-one, right?
Yeah. Well, no. So you can do like, it just depends what you request. I mean, it's a pretty flexible service. So if someone's like, we want 2 instructors with like 4 kids, or we want 1 instructor with 4 kids. Like, if you have that, like, if you have 1 instructor with like 4 or 5 kids, like, and it's like good waves. Like sometimes they'll throw you in like good waves. So it's like the kids are just getting like
mauled.
Yeah, the kids are getting mauled, and they'll finally make it out past the break, like where the waves aren't breaking anymore.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just be like, all right, like let's relax a little bit, like just talk to them. And then if some kid is really pissing me off, this is messed up. I hope nobody hears this, but I don't know who I've given lessons to hears this, but
I thought you meant like you so.
If a kid has like too much energy, or he's like kind of like pissing me off, I'll send him. I'll see a big wave and I'll send him into that. And he won't come back with the same energy,
No, dude, he'll be defeated after that.
Yeah, he won't come back with the same energy. So that's just a little tactic I use sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great job. I mean, I was getting paid $30 an hour plus tips.
Money talks.
And then sometimes I'd be getting under the table. So if some guy, like I'm done lessons, like for my boss, sometimes somebody be on the beach, they're like, hey, like waving $100 bill at me. They're like, hey, could you teach my kids how to surf for an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd walk away with like some crazy money some days, and then some days it's just slow.
True. All right. Good conversation right there. My last surfing question is, do you have any surfing memories / stories that really stand out to you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna just tell 2 quick ones. So
okay.
the first one, me and my buddies, it's probably like 8 p.m. and the sun doesn't go down in the summer until like, what is it, 9?
At least. No, probably like 8:30.
So it's probably like 8 or 8:30 if I'm thinking right, and like it's a good time to go surfing usually because the wind has died down. And one of my buddies like, oh, like feeding time, like like sharks.
Yeah.
And so we're all paddling out, like waves are good, and we're all like happy. So we make it past like the break, and me and my buddy see like a huge, like I want to say it was a hammerhead, I'm not sure because it had like that fin structure. It's like at least 8 feet, maybe 10. And it's just thrashing on something. This is like only like 3 feet of water. It's just thrashing on something. We look at each other like pure shock. Catch a wave in like just on our bellies, and the 2 other kids are out there still, and like we didn't say anything to them because we were just in shock. And we're like, yo, like you need to get out of the shark, and they're like kind of right next to like where the area was. And we're like, because we didn't even think about it. Like that's the messed up thing is like when that stuff happens, you just don't you don't really think.
Yeah, you kind of
messed up, but you kind of just react. So
yeah.
We're on the beach and we're like, yo, we didn't tell Alex and Brian like what happened. So we're like screaming for them. We're like, yo, you gotta come out. They're like, what do you guys like? What happened? And we're like, dude, there's like a huge shark out there, like just like that's like just thrashing, like it was eating something like as you.
And I'm no shark expert, but I'm pretty sure the hammerhead is quite aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was a hammerhead. It just had that tail structure that I was familiar with, but
a shark is a shark, son.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really mess with sharks. You know what I mean? Like if I was in the water at the time, I probably would have just like definitely dipped out and may have been a little scarred to go back in.
Yeah. So usually if I see a shark, I'll get out, and then me and my friend will look at it. We'll kind of hype each other up to go back out, and then we'll just go back out again. Maybe go a couple streets down just for the mental, but sharks are smart. You guys would be surprised. Sharks are smart. They won't.
Have you seen any like people catch any sharks like fishing?
Yeah.
Like have you've seen some nice ones though at ship bottom, like some big ones?
So they're not really my friends, but like it's kind of a division on the island. Like you have like your fishers and you have like your surfers. Like it's kind of like they don't really mesh well. But I know these guys that they only like, I know Hunter does. He does shark.
Yeah.
He does shark fishing.
Shout out Hunter Petrakis.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of bait he uses, but I know these kids who they only fish for sharks, like on the beach. So they do this thing where they catch a shark, they tag it, and then they release it. So they make like I think they're getting paid for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would assume you get paid if you're tagging sharks.
But yeah, I've had some friends like they catch it at night and they open it up with the picture and all that. Get the shot on Instagram. But
you gotta get that Instagram picture.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Instagram picture.
Also, yeah, it's cool, Hunter. That's really cool. That's a fun thing to do. Obviously, like I wouldn't even think of doing that. So yeah, I'm sure it's fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this summer we can go out together because I had him on the podcast. If you guys haven't listened to that one, when you're done with this episode, please go listen to that one because we touched up on a lot of fishing questions and stuff that I had for him. But yeah, man, like you said, it's pretty awesome what he's doing.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think it's pretty awesome what both you guys are doing. I wish I was a little more like into beach things.
Once you find your thing, bro. Like,
but the sun don't like me, son.
Yeah.
So I can't be out at the beach for that long, that many months, son.
Dude, just keep reapplying that.
Keep that, son. Get that SPF sport, son.
All right, so second story. I was talking to Michael before about this. Like surfing isn't really what people think. Like all the glamour and stuff. Like there's a lot of like hierarchy and like localism. If you guys know what that is, you know what localism is.
I mean, I do, but if you wanted to say it to them.
So if you live around a certain beach and you surf there a lot, you get some type of status. I know that sounds weird, but I think it's probably similar to other things. But it's like kind of like territorial. So I was in Morocco this past January, which is on the west coast, the northern west coast of Africa, and the waves were like 13 feet. It was crazy. It's like
you were there. You were riding in Africa.
Yeah. So surfing there, and so there's mainly like people from Europe who would go to surf there, like really good European surfers. Like I think there are even some pros out there. Like there is like a WSL competition there, like at the spot I was surfing, which is a pro competition. So it's high season for waves. There's about like 70 guys out, like all fighting for waves, which is such a pain in the ass. And so you gotta be really careful of dropping in on people. You can even kill somebody if you drop in on somebody. So it's like no joke. So the locals get the best waves first, and then it's the other guys who get to eat. So I saw a French guy cut off a local, and I was like, oh man, this is not going to be good. Like he starts yelling, he paddles over to him, grabs him by the hair, and literally just starts drowning him. There was a couple fists, and he talks to him in Morocco. They speak Arabic. He talks to him in Arabic, and the guy talks to him back in French, and I'm just like, what the?
we like shoving him under back in.
All right. To be honest, I don't really like. Yeah, I don't like French people. They were kind of, at least the French surfers, they were kind of assholes. Like they have some sort of like, what do you call it? They have some type of vibe about them. Like they just think they're better than people.
I don't think I've ever met a French surfer.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say the French surfers are kind of assholes. Yeah. I did meet one cool French guy though, so maybe not. I don't know. But that was crazy. Yeah. I've seen that happen in Puerto Rico. Some guy picked up a palm tree on the beach and started like trying to beat it on some dude. So it's just like
see some crazy things in the surfing world.
It's just not what it is. So it is nice to surf at home in New Jersey, just because you have your spot. You there's no pros there. It's just like less of a worry. Yeah. So it's not like what it seems like the Instagram posts like with like the pro surfers or that dude who quit his job and like makes $1 million now and he's like it's not that cool. Like it is cool.
I think it's cool. You have to make money.
You have to like it's a really hard thing to get good at. Like you have to make your way up. Like you have to spend money. Like
now, a question that was on my Reddit that I didn't add in the outline. Does knowing how to skateboard translate into surfing at all?
Yeah. So I used to skate when I was a kid, and I picked it back up when I went to Tech because I was like, man, I'm far from the beach. Like I'm not gonna be seeing beach for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been skating a decent amount. And I think it does help because I skate the pool, which is like you can air out of it, and yeah. So hopefully that'll translate over. But yeah, I think it does help.
For like beginners, like someone who's never surfed before. If you know how to skateboard, do you think you have like a jump start, like a head start?
Maybe with the balance. But
is that the hardest thing to get accustomed to?
When somebody's learning how to surf, I would say the hardest thing is the pop-up, because nobody knows. Like usually, like if you see someone try to surf, like they have like the board digs in like the nose. It's called a nose dive, and that's like the biggest problem. So I would just say like the pop-up's probably pop-up and like knowing how to read a wave, because like every wave's different, and like knowing when the wave's gonna break. Yeah. Like it's like I said, it's like a full spectrum of a sport. Like you have so many things going on, like it's crazy.
Now, do any exercises to improve your pop-up speed? Like, did you do like a lot of like push-up, like explosive push-ups or anything like that?
No, I don't do anything to help my pop-up, but I will say like year-round, I'll keep my core good because I think that's important for everything.
We're both looking at the neighbors. They're over there making an abundance of noise.
Yeah, but I think core is important, and then I don't know what I'll work on, to be honest. Maybe like I swim a lot at school actually, but yeah.
You guys have a pool at Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
We're not that fortunate over at Radford
Really?
University. No, not that fortunate.
Damn.
We don't have a football team, for Christ's sake. So.
Yeah, because Tech bribed you guys. You heard about that?
I did. We should save some of this stuff for like another podcast because we could dive in because I actually have some information because I'm friends with one of the dudes in my fraternity works on the board at Radford and he's actually like he knows a lot about that. Yeah. So I have some things I could tell you about that. But good talk with the surfing topic. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Now let's dive in to some random topics / questions that I got for Sam. As I said in the start of the episode and as he stated throughout it, he wrestled in high school at Stonebridge. My question, or two questions, part of wrestling is why'd you decide to wrestle, first off?
So my dad really, he never really pushed me into wrestling, but you know, you could tell he really liked wrestling. He was a Virginia private school state champ. So there's definitely like some killers in the private school like sector when it comes to wrestling. That's where all the guys usually go D1.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a state champ, so I was like, oh man, like that's so cool. Like I want to do that too. So I started wrestling when I was a kid. Like did not vibe with it at all. So like my dad's not gonna push anything on me. So like, I just stopped wrestling. I did that for like 3 years, like when I was a kid. So I stopped wrestling. And then McKinnon Bowen hits me up like in 8th grade as I'm playing lacrosse. He's like, look, like I want you to come out for the wrestling team. Because we talked about it like prior. And I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna give it. Like when I go for something, like I'm that type of person. Like I want to go like full in.
100%.
So I was like either yes or no. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So I went to a camp that summer, like freshened up, and then I came in. Yeah, so I just started wrestling again, and then yeah, it went good. Like
fell back in love with it.
Yeah, I fell in love with it again, and I didn't, as you know, I didn't get to wrestle my senior year because I got surgery, but I was a 1-time county champ, 2-time district champ, 3-time regional placer, and then state placer, all state. So like it turned out good for me. I just regret some stuff because I feel like I could have put in more work, like because I surfed in the summer, so like it's kind of like
you couldn't put your attention in the summer,
because
like the off season.
Yeah, so it's just
you still got some good accolades though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think it like shaped me who I am, like shaped my nutrition, my dedication. So I'll be forever grateful to wrestling. And if you guys can do martial arts, do it. You know, it's like it's something. It does suck, but like it teaches you like a lot of life lessons.
Yes, that's really. I'm glad you said that because like that's the biggest thing that I in hindsight learned from high.
Dude.
I know I should have, but it was during football season. But I actually could have those two. But
no, it was winter. Wrestling's a winter sport.
I thought it was fall. It's winter?
Winter.
Oh, I definitely could have done it. Yeah, I actually did. My bad. I thought it was fall, but I really did. But yeah, in hindsight, the things you learn from playing high school sports, and not just high school sports, like youth sports too, are just like so much deeper than just, you know what I mean, simply just playing the sport. Like you learn how to work with other people.
Yeah.
You learn discipline. You learn like, you know what I mean? Like there's just so many different things. So that's why I'm going to push on my kids. I'm going to say like play the sport, not necessarily because you love it, but just because you'll learn a lot about yourself and a lot of good life lessons that you can use later on.
It's funny though because if you know me, like I'm typically that guy who just like I could see myself just being an entrepreneur just because like I like working with other people, but like let's collab, but I don't want you telling me what to do, or like I don't want to work under somebody particularly. Like I want to have that, like if I can work under somebody that will let me have that freedom and like my intellectual property, then yeah, let's do it. But that's what I struggle with team sports like soccer, lacrosse. Like I just hated how I couldn't dictate the pace, but with wrestling and surfing, you can definitely like dictate like how many hours you throw in and like what your results are gonna be.
Yeah, what it sounds like is you just enjoy having it all be on you.
Yeah. Whether
it's success or failure, you like to know that it's all on your shoulders and you don't have to rely on Johnny over there to pull his weight in order for you to win.
Yeah, and nothing against team sports. I mean, team sports are great. But that's just me, like, personally. That's why I also played AYFL for a year, and I sucked. But that was just, like,
You gave it a try though.
Yeah, like I played with Jack Shanley under his dad, and like, I mean, I was but like, yeah, I just found out like I didn't like it, but like it was cool. I gave it a try.
But you never knew you wouldn't have liked it if you hadn't gone out and gave it a shot.
Right.
So.
Did you play UFL?
Yeah.
So did you play against the Shanley's team?
I played actually on the Shanley's team. We were just
Dude, were we on the same team?
No, we weren't. Because you were.
Because I was your. I was 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah. So I played.
Maybe 6th and 5th.
With Andrew and Dom and all them. But it was Mr. Fume. You remember Matt Fume? His dad and Dom's dad coached the team, and then that was 5th and 6th grade, and then in 7th and 8th grade we just kept the same team, but Mr. Shanley became the head coach, and then Fume and Rubino just became like assistant coaches. But yeah, so I think we may have just missed out. I mean, I definitely must have checked out some of your games because I used to always go to the games with Andrew.
I was bench, dude. I was riding the pine for sure.
I don't know what to say about that. Damn, dude.
Yeah. So like it wasn't like a good like I mean, respect to football players. It's a hard sport, man. You gotta fit all the profile. Like you gotta put on the weight. You gotta just.
You gotta be willing to just throw your body into the mix.
I mean, wrestling is the same thing, but wrestling is a little.
There's a lot of technique. I mean, football is kind of just like I'm gonna try to get my body or make your body get on the ground
like
by my body.
Like I'm not about the Oklahoma.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like there's no like. I don't know.
I mean, it could fit somebody. Yeah, somebody could love Oklahomas. I mean, good for you. Like that's sick. Like I couldn't do that all day.
No, I mean I really enjoyed my time playing football. But like looking back, I kind of wish I did switch it up because I also played basketball my whole life. But I kind of wish I'd switched up and given hockey a try, or given like you know what I mean something like that's a real rough sport right there, like hockey, like something like that. Like that's cool. Like there's so much that goes into that. Like you need to learn how to balance with the skates and then the coordination, following the puck, and then moving your body and not getting hit. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's a real dynamic sport.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean. Good talk with the wrestling. We'll definitely be doing podcasts in the future, and I would love to get some more questions, a little more in depth, some good stories. But we should definitely move on. If you guys didn't know, early in high school, maybe our junior year, so that's not that early. But Sam had some pilot ambitions, and yeah, you want to tell everyone when/where did you start flying, and that potential Air Force scholarship that you almost had the opportunity to take.
So I did clock a few hours at a Leesburg private airport.
The one off,
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I went to that one actually a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so I did a few with the instructor. And then I did end up actually getting an Air Force ROTC scholarship. So like if I went to Virginia Tech, I would have got like a full scholarship there. And then, first of all, I got my shoulder surgery. And then I realized I was color deficient, which kind of makes sense because I can't see like certain colors as vibrantly. So if I saw like this shirt, I'd be like, oh, like that's like black, yeah. Or if I see gray, I'm like, that's silver. I don't know, stuff like that.
Is it more with darker colors that you have problems with, or is it just all colors?
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely not colorblind, but they DQ'd me because you do that dot test with the numbers in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got like 7 out of 12 on that. So they're like, sorry, like as of now, you're disqualified from receiving like. And I got the fur from Coast Guard Academy. So they wanted me to do a year at Naval Academy Prep School, because I wanted to wrestle there.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, man, like this isn't like guaranteed. So like you can get a waiver if you get disqualified. I'm sure there's people listening to this who have had to go through the like DODMER, which is the medical, and it's such a pain in the butt. Yeah. But if you get disqualified, you basically have to like get a waiver, and it's a whole process. So I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna go to Virginia Tech, and if I want after, like I can serve like with a degree, like no problem. So
it's always on the table, man. Always on the table for you. Have you ever tried out one of those like colorblind glasses, like that you put on and you can see fully?
But I was in contact with the guy who makes contact lenses now to fix like any type of like color blindness or deficiency you have. So if you want to be a pilot, you can get that and then get your license.
So you don't. It doesn't have. It's like not mandatory that it's natural vision. Like if you can get glasses that make you see fully, like they'll pass that off.
Yeah, they'll pass that off.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Unless you're like legally blind.
Unless you really struggle with it.
Unless you really start.
Should we do that UFC?
Yeah.
UFC Dream Match. All right. Another random topic / question that I got from my man Sam. What is a dream UFC matchup that you'd like to see one day? It could be any organization, any era, any fighter. We can cross weight classes and do catch weight fight. I don't really care. Just any fighter, any organization.
All right. I actually have 2. So let's do Jorge Masvidal and Nick Diaz, and then let's do Israel Adesanya and John Jones.
Wait. Jorge Masvidal and Nick Diaz?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I thought you said Nate.
No,
and then
Nick
what was
Diaz.
the other one?
John Jones and Israel Adesanya.
Dude, those are 2 fire matchups.
Right?
Those are 2 fire.
Those would break.
The only thing I like how we were saying at the beginning of the podcast, how dominant Masvidal has been looking. Diaz has taken, like, he hasn't fought in like 4 years. Like, the last time he fought was
saying, like, if they both met up in their prime.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, dude, in their prime, that matchup would be, like, the build-up would be nuts.
Because Nick Diaz is not going away, you know?
No, dude, I think he'll definitely fight again one day before he's done for sure. I mean, he's
Maybe
going to
make some change.
I thought it was so disrespectful how people wanted to see Nick and Nate go at it for a couple years. Like, dude,
that'd be crazy. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, dude, reporters used to ask him all the time, and, like, they'd get, like, offended. Like, they'd be like, dude, like, he's my brother, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to go and stand and bang with him. But,
that'd be weird for sure.
And then the other one, Adesanya and Jones? Or Adesanya and Silva?
No, Adesanya and Jones.
Adesanya and Jones.
Silva one was not fun, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't like that matchup.
Dude, I think we'll see that one day, but what do you think about John Jones going up to heavyweight?
Yeah, he vacated the belt.
Yeah, I don't know if it's official that he vacated, but I think he's just trying to get more money out of Dana. But Dana's always been one to not really pay to the fullest.
Does he want to fight Ngannou?
Yeah, he wants to fight Ngannou, but apparently Dana said he asked for like 15 million.
I was listening to that yesterday. I screw that guy.
Yeah, I think Jones just wins by decision.
You think so?
Or submission. I mean, if you get out of the first round with Ngannou, that power goes from 100 to 75 real quick. And then the rounds, it just keeps going. It just gets worse and worse. I mean, that power is always going to stay. Like, I'm not saying in the 4th round you don't have to worry about it, but, like, in terms of, like, that real explosion that just comes out of nowhere, like, I feel like that diminishes after the first round or 2.
Yeah, that's toss up for me. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think John Jones looks weaker lately, too.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does, dude. I mean, like we were saying the other day, that Reyes fight, dude.
And Santos fight, I thought he lost.
Bro, Santos, he tore, like, both his ACLs, both the MCL. Yeah, dude. I mean, but you got to think, like, how hard has John Jones, like, been training? Like, I don't know. He may just see, because, like, every time when he fights these guys and he signs up to fight them, I think it's going to be, like, a walk in the park.
But then his coaches are like, oh, we've never seen this John Jones. Like,
I mean, yeah.
You think that's not true?
I hate when people lie to the media. And, like,
you think
everyone lies to the media. What?
You think they're lying?
What? Did I think he's the best?
No, do you think that, the coaches are lying, like, when they say, oh,
like this is the best shape he's ever been in? Yeah. I mean, like, not all the time. I mean, yeah, they're just saying it to, like, build it up, to, like, get more sales and stuff. I mean, if they're going to go out and be like, actually, man, John does not look that good. Like, he might get his ass kicked today. Like, I mean, like, everyone's going to lie.
Money on this guy.
I mean, like, dude, think of, like, McGregor. Like, half the things McGregor said, like, I watched a video, like, a month ago where McGregor went back and watched his press conference highlights. And when he talks about that Jeremy Stevens, we're like, who is that guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where, like,
he knew who he was.
Yeah. He was. I knew exactly who he was. But it's like hearing him say, like, admit that he knows who he is.
I saw that too.
It's kind of like, man, like, it kind of ruins the moment for. I wish he would have been like, nah, I genuinely didn't know who that guy was.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been legendary. But man, some good fights, dude. So Adesanya and Jones and Nick Diaz and I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing.
Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm drawing a blank too.
I was drawing a big blank there, dude. All right.
Sometimes, dude. Sometimes just.
Yeah, dude. It's worse when it's on the podcast. Like, I'll, like, forget, and it'll just be like 10 seconds of silence. I'm like, it's gonna come to me, boys. It's gonna come to me.
Yeah.
But it usually doesn't. But now let's get into the last random topic question that I got from my man Sam. As I told him before we started the podcast, I did a little research on his Instagram, a little stalking activity, son. I had to get some questions together. You're a big traveler, son. A big traveler. It looked like on your Instagram you've been to a good amount of places. So my question: top 3 places, if you can narrow it down to 3 places that you travel to in your life, and we'll also say 1 place that you'd like to. If you
okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
We'll start with the 3 though.
So Puerto Rico for sure.
Want to say what part?
Yeah. So what is it? The northwest side is Rincon, and it's like a little surfing town, and the weather's beautiful and everything's super cheap, so I really like that destination. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Sicily, Italy. It's a small volcanic island it's like south of Italy, and that place is nuts. Like, you'd be looking at blue water, and then you'd see like a classic Italian town on top of a hill, it's like some little small town.
Yeah.
And then a volcano with snow on top. So it's just crazy.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then
you said Sicily? Italy? I mean,
yeah,
you said
Sicily.
Italy. Sicily.
Yeah.
Sorry. pronounce it right.
Yeah, like Sicilia if you're like Italian. But yeah, I went with Luke to Sicily. That was fun, and his mom was speaking Italian to her driver. He looked like he was in the mob, dude.
That's sick. Dude.
Yeah.
She speaks Italian?
Yeah, she speaks good Italian.
Is she fluent? Or is it kind of like she has like a good, knows a good chunk of it?
She's like almost fluent. Like she's like, oh, let me warm up here, and then she just starts like spitting.
She starts rambling on in Italian.
Yeah, and then yeah. So my third would probably be. It's a tough one. Lisbon, Portugal. That place is sweet. It's like a good mix of like European and I don't know. Portugal has like its own little culture, and not a lot of people. I feel like not a lot of people hit it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had like a bridge that looked like the Golden Gate Bridge. It was cool, and they have good surfing. Like there's a beach. Like
did you go surfing?
Yeah, I went surfing in Portugal when I was there over spring break.
So
that was this spring break.
Oh, so that was like a month, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah, dude, that's like what happened.
Dang, no.
Dude, so we went to Portugal, stayed there for like 4 days. It was awesome, and then we went to Spain, and my sister is living in Spain, teaching there, and like literally the second day we're in Spain, I get a call at like 3 a.m. and it's my girlfriend. She's like, "Yo, did you see what Trump did? Like, did you see what America said?" Yeah, closing. So we go to the airport like 20 minutes later, like spend bills on like a new flight home, and like you could just tell there's like panic like going on. Like all these girls like all these people who were abroad are like crying like.
Dude, it was chaos.
It was chaos. Dude. I was in the plane and like I was talking to somebody. We're like, "Oh, like how's it going? Like, are you okay?" I was like, "Dude, like you guys better be ready for what's coming. Like it's gonna like stuff's gonna change."
Yeah.
So it was crazy. Like I was like, "Wow, this had to be like the time where I was abroad." Like
yeah,
the little chunk. Like I was only like traveling for like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's actually funny you say that you had like a little like last minute scare with the airport and the border closing because my sister, her roommate that she lives with in Leesburg. Had just landed in Ireland probably like 50 minutes before Trump announced it. And so she literally just landed in Ireland and then had to yeet right back.
I mean, yeah.
And I was like, dude, you didn't get your vacation
At least I got some vacation and it was so fun. Like the waves in Portugal lined up. Like the waves in Portugal were some of the best waves. It was like perfect barrels, which is where like the wave like kind of tubes up and you can fit in the wave. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen like?
Yeah, I mean, like how you like ride like the inside of the wave and then you kind of like you disappear and then you like come out of nowhere.
Yeah, so I got some barrels when I was there and it was sweet. It was
Let's go, son.
Yeah, and then
those make for the best pictures.
Yeah,
riding a barrel.
Yeah, it's hard to get that shot because like the waves have to be good. And you have to have a photographer hired, and then like everything has to line up. And like if the waves are good, like you're not gonna be like calling up a photographer like, "Hey, can you come like to this beach like this street like."
How much do photographers?
In this wetsuit, like.
Yeah. How much do photographers usually charge if you're surfing one day and you're like, "Hey man, you want to come take some shots of me for an hour?"
Depends. I mean, there's some photographers that are like sick and they're like $200, or you can hire like your local guy for like $30-$40. But like usually I don't pay for my photos. Like usually it's like my buddy who's in the water or like somebody I know.
Yeah, someone you're boys with.
Yeah. So
respect. All right. Sounds like some good vacationing spots. What is one place, though, that you want to go to that you haven't been to? Yeah. If you can think.
Japan.
Thanks,
yeah,
son.
Japan.
We're really shipping it across the world, so we're really getting up there.
Japan really bad. Like, it just looks... I want to go to Tokyo, and then after Tokyo, me and Pete have talked about this, because he's going to be stationed in Okinawa. We want to go, like, skiing. I forget what mountain it is, but they get the most powder a year.
Big skier, snowboarder?
I'm a snowboarder, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You ever tried skiing?
No, I want to though. Just want to like give it a run.
Yeah. Dude, I've only been twice each time. Like I went to Bryce and I skied, and then I went to actually I stayed at Bryce and I snowboarded the other day. And I don't know, in my opinion, I think skiing's easier, but snowboarding was like more like you're like, I don't know, it was like more fun. I feel like you can go faster and you can like squeeze in tight gaps and stuff, but then also like you're only landing on your tailbone. Whereas like the good thing about skis is like, yeah, you might tear your ACL, but like as soon as you fall, like, you know what I mean? Like you can land here, you can land here, but like you're either landing on your face or you're landing on your tailbone if you're snowboarding.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, that sounds like a good trip though. I mean, get some snowboarding in the mountains with the most snow in the world.
Yeah, dude, powder.
I mean, that's gotta feel beautiful.
Powder hits different when you're like skiing. I don't know. Have you like skied? Or
yeah, I mean, not anywhere like powder. Nice. Like maybe Bryce, like I said, like
me and my brother scored snowshoe this year. The best weekend of the year. It was like way steep in powder, and then like that was the first time I mean, I've been to Colorado, and like that was the first time I really got that type of powder in West Virginia, and like it hits different.
That does sound very nice.
The clouds.
Now let's jump into the one would you rather question that I got for Sam, which is, would you rather be a bowling champion or a ping pong champion? Best in the world.
All right, I'm gonna go with bowling because I always see those ESPN highlights with this dude's just getting like.
We got a bee flying around, dude. I'm just scoping that out and make sure I'm not gonna get stung by no murder hornet.
Dude, you're good.
I've never been stung by a bee, so that's why I'm.
Are you serious?
Never. So it's like
Think you're allergic?
I don't know, but I don't want to take the risk. That's why I was looking at it in the top.
Dude, you're sketch.
I'm not sketch. So I just never been stung by a bee. So I'm like, what do you mean?
You gotta try it out.
Gotta try it out. You ever seen Brave Wilderness? Where the guy that gets stung by stuff?
Yes, he's crazy.
That dude's an animal. Like, absolutely.
Have you seen that video where he's like chasing like this animal and he falls down like into the cactus?
No, I just started watching. I literally just started his first video like a week ago, and I binge watched like maybe 3 or 4 of them.
That dude's different.
But so you're going with bowling champion.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I always see them on ESPN with the highlights, and they'll hit that curve, and they'll strike, and they just go.
The crowd just goes nuts.
They go nuts, and that dude was like, there's one dude that was just screaming at the crowd. He's like, you doubted me. Like, have you seen that dude?
No.
Dude, you'll know when you see him because he's just like, he gets so lit, and I don't know, I want to beat him.
You want to beat that guy?
I want to beat that guy.
Dude, I think the gloves that they wear are sick. So they get that like.
Yeah.
Like,
and like the shirts, like the bowling shirts.
Dude, I mean,
it's a chicks sport.
Dude, chicks dig bowlers.
Yeah.
Especially a bowling champion song. Come on.
Yeah.
I might just take the opposing viewpoint so we can hype up ping pong.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, ping pong's sick.
Ping pong is sick. I mean, I used to have a ping pong table in my basement up until probably like 2 or 3 years ago. My dad used to literally, like my dad and I, literally like from 7 years old to like 15 every single night. We'd go down and play best 2 out of 3 to 21.
So you got some spins?
I mean, maybe not anymore, but I mean, dude, there was definitely a time in my life where I was probably like the 79th ranked ping pong player in the world, give or take. Give or take.
Come on, dog.
No, I don't even know, but I mean, I definitely put up a good fight against basically anyone. I remember Tommy Stratton was always good competition for me because he was just like, I don't know, man. He had something with the spin, dude, that was just throwing me off. He would do it, and I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, I had one in my basement, and I play a decent amount.
You got that regulation size?
Yeah. It's like a nice ping pong table, and like I can never spin it, but I'm always good for the return, like whether that's backhand or forehand. Like
yeah.
I'm good for it, but the ones where I mess up is those ones that just barely miss, like. Barely skimming the table.
It's just such an exciting game to play, like especially if it's back and forth. Like win by 2, it's like 19-18. Like get a little group of people coming together.
Dude, we
like
should play after, bro.
I mean, I don't have the table anymore.
Oh.
I would love to go in there. Yeah, dude, I literally just came home one day and that thing was gone. He was like, "Hey man, I sold it on Facebook Marketplace." I was like, "That's like my childhood, son." I was like,
"Yeah, you gotta talk about that before you know,
for real." But like we hadn't used it in like months, but still, I was like, dude, I thought this was like our thing, dude. I don't know, but all right, so you're going bowling champion. I'm going ping pong. Respect to both. Respect to ping pong and bowling. What about Wii bowling? You a big Wii bowler?
I mean, Wii sports in general is just a time in my life that I remember very vividly. I'm trying to think of like what my favorite Wii sports was.
Boxing. The nunchucks.
The boxing was fun, but if I had to pick a one Wii game, just pick one Wii game. Let's do one more question. Pick one Wii game. I'm gonna go with Mario Kart.
Oh. You sly dog.
Mario Kart.
I was thinking of that one.
Yeah, well, you can say Mario Kart.
I mean, yeah, but give me a minute. How about Mario Kart real quick?
Yeah,
I'm gonna think.
Dude, I mean the tracks, like all the race tracks on Mario Kart are just fire. Like you have the volcano one, which is my favorite track. And like the reason why I like Mario Kart is I don't remember myself losing that much. I remember, like it was very high paced and you get the boost. You could like really end somebody with the turtles or like the missiles that you'd send.
Dude, that game is literally like I would say top 3 video games.
Top 3.
All
I have
time.
a Wii right now.
But dude, so do I. I brought it. Well, actually, it might be back down in school. Benji may.
Yeah, mine is at school too.
I mean, we kept buzzing.
But I wanna get back into it for sure because I know you can play like Mario Kart. Like what is it?
Mario Kart. Yeah, we played that.
How do you play that?
Yeah, I played that. So it's you have to finish. So when the race starts, you have to finish. You can only drink when your car is stopped. and you have to finish the beer by the race is done. So like, let's say you come in first place, but you still have half the beer.
How are you gonna beat the bots if you're doing that though?
Well, no, you just race them. Like you have 4 friends racing. It's like whoever, like the seeding amongst you guys.
Yeah, and, I'm like, you can't beat the bots if you're just messing around like that.
Yeah,
unless you can really shotgun one off the bat.
Yeah, I mean,
strategy, you just shotgun one right off the bat.
What I would do is I would just try to slam like 80% of the beer right before the race starts, before I even go to start. Like, yeah. So like, I would regulations. I mean, Matt Burkholder didn't have a problem when I did.
All right, so I trust Matt's opinion.
He's a trustworthy guy.
He's a sound guy.
I actually thought of a game that might rival Mario Kart. I mean, not rival it, but I mean, it's close. Just Dance.
Just Dance.
You remember Just Dance?
Yes, my sister loves that game.
I mean, like,
it's just like I could never get into it because like you could just move
Yeah, you could just kind of cheat, but like, come on.
That's what I would do, and I was like, dude, I can't do this because I need something to force me to do this. Like, if it's I mean, that's kind of a cheat, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I would agree with Mario Kart, but like Just Dance, I mean, that wasn't a bad one, and they had a good run. I think they went up to like Just Dance 5. Like they milked that game until the cows came home, dude. Like,
the arcade games where you like dance like on like the pads, you get sweating on those.
Talking about like a Chuck E. Cheese or like an arcade game.
You have like the pole, you just like go at it, dude. You gotta move your feet.
You get that footwork, dude. You get that Canelo Alvarez footwork if you play that game enough. So dude, yeah, we rolled for an hour and 6 minutes. This is my first hour-long episode in like couple months.
We could have went longer. We cut off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we really did. Yeah, I got my fact of the day for you guys though. Before I let you go, as always, fact of the day today is on October 4th, 2009, at a beach in Cape Town, South Africa. 110 people surfed the same wave, and of course, that was a world record. There's a bunch of pictures of like the guys riding the wave.
We call that a party wave.
Party wave?
You go on with like multiple people on the wave. Like if you and your friend want to hop on a wave, you're like, party wave.
Party wave. Yeah. What's the most people you've party waved with?
Probably like 4. You can like tackle your friend or something.
So what do you think about this 110? Like,
that's crazy. It's got to be a really like
long wave,
like wide wave. No, I'm trying to. So yeah, long wave has to go for a while. I mean, it can't be like a small, like little wedge thing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna counter you with a fact about Cape Town.
Oh, you got a fact?
Cape Town, South Africa. I don't have it on the paper. Cape Town, South Africa recently almost hit day 0, which means you run out of water.
When? When was this? Like recently?
Yeah, I'll look at it real quick.
Sheesh.
I mean, that's crazy, dude. You guys gotta. As an environmental major, you guys gotta,
pay attention to
watch out for your water, man.
Yeah.
Water's important.
See, I wish things like this got brought up more in media.
All right, so yeah, dude, they had a water crisis like in 2018, spring 2018, and it disappeared. Yeah, they said the story disappeared. Yeah. And if you listen to some of the stuff about like Flint, Michigan water, their mayor is drinking their water every day. Did you hear about that? Their mayor is drinking their water every day. I knew
the water in Flint was bad, but I didn't know that the mayor was.
It's crazy, man.
Digging into it. The title of this article that Sam brought out is Cape Town's Day 0 Water Crisis 1 year later. It says in spring. Sorry, I didn't mean to grab your laptop. But in spring 2018, news of the water crisis in South Africa ricocheted around the world. Then the story disappeared. What happened? Now, I'm gonna have to read that article. Dude, I'm gonna have to read that.
It's like places like that if you like, dude, look at their dam. There's nothing in the.
Just try anything, son.
Yeah, so there's like, it's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stories to be read.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wrap it up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Today was June 1st, first of the month. Shout out June. Really feels like now like summer's getting into like we're getting into like the heart of summer. You know what I mean? Like the good part of summer. But yeah, dude. Sam, like I said at the start of the podcast, he's starting his own podcast. He currently has a blog. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find it?
Yeah. So www.laustenfound.org, or you can hit on my Instagram. The link is there, and I'll be starting a YouTube. I think I'm just gonna use the YouTube just to try weird shit or do DIYs or for my podcast.
Yeah.
But my podcast is gonna be the Lausten Found podcast.
What a name! What a name!
So it's gonna be coming out in a few weeks, and yeah, just stay tuned. I think
big time.
I think that it's gonna be I'm gonna have a co-host for sure, and the first 30 minutes is gonna be spitballing, and the next 30 minutes we're gonna dive into a certain topic, and me and Mike will definitely have more podcasts in the future. So.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking about when we get back at school, and also a few times this summer, we're definitely going to have to run it a couple times together because I had a great time doing this with you, and this is just the first time. This is just our first time doing it. But yeah, guys, please support and check out Sam's podcast when he drops it. Check out his blog too. It will be in the description below. That's all I gotta say. I'm your host of this show, Michael Marr, and as always, stay clean, stay safe, and stay tuned.
Just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop! Drop down, snap.